People who have mental health issues or problems or mental health circumstances, the hardest thing to do is to talk about it. And that's because everybody looks at you weird. Like people who have bipolar, and you go, oh yeah, sometimes I get moody, sometimes I get bipolar. They'll start referring to you like, oh, like because they go, oh, she's pissy today. It's her bipolar, and it's like, don't identify it like you know what it is. Because people who don't have mental health disorders don't know what it's like. Honestly, I'm not making a video to bitch. Hope. Stupid. People say that was stupid in the movie, the idea that the symbol represented hope. Hope was one of the things I hated before I had a family, before I had a wife and a son. I hated hope. I just did my task. I did my job. I did what needed to be done, not because I believed in it or because of anything superficial. It was just because it was asked of me. I was a doer. My brother Michael always told me that being in this world, being among people, you guys, it will change me. Now, if it changes me for the better or for the worse, that's up to me. And I replied, if what I see of people changes my influence, that's them. That's their actions, and the reaction of their actions is what I think. And they go, yeah. And well, he says, yeah. But it's how you take what you see. That's all on you. That's your perspective. And he says this with a crazy smile that he always has. I didn't understand what he meant. Sometimes life is going to be really sucky. Sometimes you're going to be dealt a really bad hand. And I've been hearing a lot of that by people who talk about millennials, if I'm pronouncing that right. Simon says I need to stop thinking so much because it's not what I do. I'm the doer. I do things. I don't think. I'm the big lug that just does whatever by whatever means. But over the years, I've experienced too much. I've been through too much of my own personal hell. My heart is racing because I know what I'm about to do. I mentioned this before. The idea that I suffer from mental health problems. I really didn't go into it. But today I am because I see other people. My brother James was able to talk an entire room into a better mood about their mental health problems. He's a talker. He's a social guy. He's the guy that gets everybody riled up, good or bad. And he got everybody to feel better about themselves. But I've seen people who don't know how to crawl out of what they are, where they are. Maybe because they're afraid. And honestly, I am too. Because people will use anything against you if it means satisfying their own goal. And I know this because I used to be one of those people. That's why this is really, really kind of tough. My brother, well, adopted brother, gave me this quote. I have multiple personalities, and none of them like you. He gave me that shirt because I suffer from a condition that's very much like multiple personality disorder. It's referred to as dissociate identity disorder. And from my understanding, it's whenever you're just not yourself. And now people are going to say, well, sometimes people just aren't themselves. My adopted parents, Sue and Chuck, they always go, oh yeah, everybody has different sides of themselves. You guys have just decided to give each other names. And it's not that simple. Because I'm not just diagnosed with the ID. Schizophrenic. I'm a paranoid schizophrenic. Me. This persona, this personality, the one referred to as Nicholas the Serious, that's me. We kind of came public a couple years ago about it, but more public to like the idea of therapists and government officials and police reports. Matter of fact, coming out was one of the things that barred me from ever joining the military, barred me from ever becoming a police officer, and then the other things after that. Those things that I wanted to do. I can't. But maybe I can try to convince people that maybe realizing that if something is wrong with you, don't treat yourself as a pariah. Uh, as Michael used to be called the Black Plague, ironically. Don't treat yourself like you're the bad guy. There's a lot of media out there that kind of puts people who have mental health problems in a very bad light. And please don't think that I'm bitching about that, because I'm not, because there are people, there's movies out there that point guys out to be the worst kind of people, or women to be the most evil kind of people, or children to be straight diabolical. And even though to a certain degree that's true for an individual, that's not true for a generalized population. It's not true for the majority. So watch for people who say, oh, they've seen movies like Split. And trust me, when people go, oh, is that really real? Is that really how it is? Let me tell them, if I say, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Well, not exactly, but like, the idea that it's different aspects, different emotional aspects. I'd be lying. It's not. It's not like Inside Out. It's like never being alone. It's like having to deal with people, with your actual friends and your actual family members or whatever, doing things that no one else can see them. And it took me forever to realize that. My personas, my brothers. And the weird thing, I say brothers a lot, and it doesn't, not all of them are from in my head, from my world being Haven. Michael, he always wanted something like this to happen. Like at the end of Heroes season maybe 5, whenever Claire jumps off the Ferris wheel and shows the world that evolved people exist. People know that there are other people out there with mental health problems. I'm coming out with my main two, my heavy hitters. I'm paranoid all the time. I think people are always trying to, if not kill me, then use the people around me to hurt me. I look around for assassins and hostage takers and hitmen. I look for people who want to do harm to the people I care about. And maybe that might be what most people think, but I think that with everybody. The bus driver, people driving by, people driving towards me, people walking towards me, people in restaurants. I assess every room that I go into. I locate every camera, count how many people are in the room, how many people are not in the room, but still in the same building. At least within the, adjacent rooms. Count exits, doors, just in case something happened. Or happens. Do I think I could beat everybody in the room? No, but I assess everybody to see what's the best way for me to take them down, or neutralize them if possible. Not because I think I'm some kind of tough guy, but in case they happen to turn. If they happen to be what, if they happen not to be what they portray to be. That's my paranoia. And it affects relationships, because I also think sometimes friends aren't worth it. And I think that's a normal thing, but sometimes I don't even trust people. My relationships with friends, especially after the incident, really has me more or less playing friendship like a spy would. What can I get from you, and how much information do I relate to you that's going to help me? That's my schizophrenia. Well, that's my paranoia. My schizophrenia comes in with the idea that I see things, not the idea that I believe it. It is. It's my reality. I know most of my, when I say brothers and when I refer to people like Michael and James and Simon, Danny, Seth, no one else can see them. I do. And we have histories. We have stories and the stories we could tell you about what we've done in our world and everything else. Even looking at this camera, I know when I look back at the footage, that face I see is not the one that's mine. Just the one that I have to assume while I'm here. While I'm here in this world, the other world, Toe. Simon calls you all Toeians, and it's a phrase that sticks. He doesn't trust anybody from this world, but that's okay. He doesn't really trust anybody anyway. The only thing he really seems to care about or even show any interest in is work. Almost like me, but I'm more involved in doing. He's more involved with planning, figuring things out. The scheming of it all, the how, when, and why. Michael is the creative one of us, the older, younger, both of us, of all of us. He's also like the god of our world, the hero of Haven. He's also the guy that saved me from the war. He saved everybody from it in our world. And he found me after Seth deserted our platoon and everybody went nuts and gave me another purpose rather than just working for the darkness. And this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy that I'm telling you guys this because you guys are going to think that I'm crazy. And to a certain degree I am. But it doesn't mean that I'm not safe. It doesn't mean that I'm not a good person. And it doesn't mean that I can't handle responsibilities. It means I work harder to be on your level. I work harder to be considered normal. The first year after they released me from CCJ, which is the Clearfield Correctional Jail here, they didn't give me my medication, and for the first half a year it was rough. Not seeing my brothers, that's never, well, that's annoying. As annoying as it is to have a family reunion, it was hard to tell the difference between reality and my world. But I've learned to get better. Recovery is an option, but it doesn't happen overnight. It happens when you know who you are and what you want. Chuck has always told me that the way that we are designed, us, United Separation is what we call the collective of us. The way we do things is better than what normal people do. Something happened along the way and shattered the brain, maybe. Or maybe in some aspect, maybe we are from another dimension. But regardless, though, whatever happened before, this is what kept everything going. The schizophrenia, the paranoia, the DID. All of that kept us alive. Maybe. I don't even know. Honestly, I don't remember anything beyond 2007. And then everything before that I learned from documentations and people telling me stories. I don't want to get rid of this. I don't. It's what defines us. It's what makes us stronger. The collective mind, the Legion, all working together for a common goal. Sometimes we disagree, sometimes we fight, but at the end, it is all for the better good. So with all that being said, I don't want to... Integration. They try that. Imagine somebody came to your family and was like, okay, we're going to integrate you. Okay, what does that mean? That means potentially one of you is going to lose a body. But don't worry, the others are going to remember the good parts of you. That way you continue to live on. And that's kind of what it was for us. Fusion works for us, but that's something that both parties, everybody agrees to. One person agrees to be lost because they know that they will live on as a whole. But that's a collective of two people, two personas working together to become a new entity. It doesn't work when you try to combine an entire world into one entity. It doesn't. If someone was like, okay, we're going to combine all the consciousness of everybody on Earth into one being, no one wants that. All right, very few people want that. It's the idea, and Simon came up with this one. Incorporation. We work together for the same common goal, like I explained before. It's tough, it's weird, and it's abnormal, yes. But it is what works for us. And it is going to work for us because it has been so far. And granted, yes, we disagree with a lot of things. Simon doesn't believe that what I'm doing right now, I'm not talking about this, but like the life situation currently is the best use of my ability. Michael believes that me being here is soothing my soul and making me feel better about some of the past bad things that happened before I even came to tow. And maybe some of the things that happened while I was here. And James, well, as long as he gets to talk to people, he's happy. As long as he gets to be the stupid teenager that he is, he's happy. And Tobias freaking loves Nakoma and Sue. And sometimes Uncle Josh. But we're not sick. And if we are, we're recovering. We're finding a way to function normally. To live independently. To be better. So screw normality. We're better. We're going to be better. We are better. We're going to continue to get better because that's what companies do, right? That's what businesses do. That's what groups of people do. They figure out how to make themselves better, and that's what we are, and that's what we do. We are us. United Separation, and all of us together. I believe, I hope that our existence will mean something. The legacy that we ourselves will leave behind might be able to save some lives. Mike always says that we're here to do that. And me being, well, with my background, mixed as it is, this is the right thing for me to do. And hopefully I can help somebody instead of hurting somebody. That's the end of entry 1. I'm Nicholas the Serious. That's all I got to say for today.